Matthew Barnaby, as you know, played 834 National Hockey League games, 300 points right on the nose, and a whopping 2,562 penalty minutes. Barney joining us from the nation's capital. How you doing, Barney?
I'm good, buddy. I was inside the arena. I don't get a chance to watch my son with COVID very often, so he's skating today. It's a rink that I can actually watch from, but as you saw earlier when I was trying to connect, not great in there, and seeing the likes of Erik, Karlsson, Zaitsev, it's fun to watch these guys. It's apropos with the draft happening tonight that Ottawa, watching these guys play and the guys from around the league, a lot of new faces will be making their way to the NHL after tonight.
So hang on. Where's the rink?
Just outside of Ottawa. Fred G. Barrett, an old rink that I used to play in when I was a kid. But it's one of the few rinks where I can get in, of course, with my mask. But it's fun to watch these guys skate and train.
So I'm sorry, but you know that I'm somewhat fascinated by your kid's career. So he was in the Coast last year. He's skating now. What's their plan for hockey this year?
Yeah, it's crazy because everyone asks, well, where is he going to go? And, we've talked to places in Europe, but we know a lot of, the NHL teams. He's not under NHL contract. He really should be at Penn State, but he chose a different route. So right now, everything's up in the air. The Coast is up in the air. The AHL's up in the air. It looks like there's a tentative date for the NHL as of January 1st to start. But we know all the other leagues can't survive without fans in the stands. If you don't have a TV deal, it's really tough monetarily to have these leagues. And the trickle-down effect is the players in those leagues have nowhere to play right now.
Viewers writing in with questions for you, Barney, and I hope that we have time to get to them. But I'll just say this, in Ottawa, with all these picks in the first two rounds, is it like Christmas there? Is this the most excited Senators fans have been in quite some time?
Yeah, it's been a while, right, for this franchise, and to have the third pick and the fifth pick, I think it's great for the franchise. They also have the 28th pick, whether they decide to use that or go get a veteran player, or I don't even know a veteran player, but a player that's been in the league that fits into the scheme of their age-wise, that mid-20s that's going to be around to see this rebuild through. But it's an exciting time. Whoever they get at 3 is going to be a difference maker, whether it's Byfield or Stützle. I think both are going to be studs in this league. They would have loved to get the number 1 overall pick in Lafreniere, but I think they're going to be sitting really nice with 3 and 5.
One of those picks came from San Jose. Do you think the Sharks are regretting that by chance, given the way Karlsson did or didn't perform in San Jose?
Yeah, I would think so. I think when they look at their team now, I don't think they're built to win right now. And when you bring in an Erik Karlsson stud type, I mean, well, it wasn't what he had flashes of brilliance and flashes of looked like that he still might be dealing with that Achilles injury. But, all things being equal, he's a great player. He will be for a lot of years to come. But I just think San Jose, where they are cap-wise, it would have made more sense now looking back. Hindsight is 2020. But to have that pick in the draft, certainly with the cap flexibility, with the cap staying flatline, at least for now, probably would have suited them better than having Karlsson.
I want to get into the gong show things that are happening in the NHL right now with buyouts and trades and all the rest. But first, Joe Lazito watching on Long Island right now, Barney. He says, hey, Rod, if you're taking questions from the Peanut Gallery, can you please ask Barney about the time he and Erik Karlsson had a disagreement in the hallway between the dressing rooms at the Coliseum? What do you remember about that?
Well, I remember fighting Erik on the ice and him cracking my helmet in half with 3 or 4 of the punches that he landed. I never got a punch, and then in Long Island, it separated literally the 2 dressing rooms, old school, with just a tarp, a cloth tarp. So, I had my disagreements. He was yelling names at me. I was yelling names at him. I went down the hall, took another punch right in the face, and took a 6-game suspension. He only got 4 for beating the crap out of me, which I never understood, but the $64,000 fine and the 6 games, I learned my lesson. That was the last one I think I ever got. But Erik Karlsson is one tough SOB.
All told, how much money did you donate back to the National Hockey League in fines? You told me one night.
I think it's $224,563, something to that effect. So Colin Campbell, I've never received any back for Christmas, but this would be a great year.
I'm sure it would come in handy now, no doubt. So this morning, my notifications are going off. Here's the latest. Red Wings waive Justin Abdelkader. The Montreal Canadiens place Karl Alzner on waivers. We're seeing that with Oliver Ekman-Larsson, they're going to move him out of Arizona. Can you please tell me, because I don't understand. Oliver Ekman-Larsson's their best player. He's a perennial all-star. Could he not just rip up the deal? What if he said, I love Phoenix. I like where the Coyotes are going. Why can't we rip up the deal and just do something that works? Why is that not a thing?
Yeah, I love Billy Armstrong, too, and he's going to go in and put his stamp. We've already seen with the scouting department. He's going to put his stamp on this team, and I think he's going to reevaluate, reallocate. Oliver Ekman-Larsson is probably his biggest bargaining chip for the future. So I think he looks at where he is cap-wise and how many years he has left, and probably 2 or 3 of those years won't be great. We see those with aging free agents usually when they sign, even when they sign their deal. We know that the latter half isn't going to be great. So I think Billy has a model in place. I think he has his biggest bargaining chip with OEL. He's trying to move that. It's really tough right now, though, in a cap world. We know Vancouver likes him. We know Boston likes him. Hell, everyone likes him. It's just, can you fit him in? So I think it's a tough deal to make right now, having limited partners. But we see it around the league. Alzner isn't something that we should be surprised with. Guys that, are underperforming with high cap numbers, they're going to be bought out. It's alleviating yourself from some cap space. But more and more in a cap world where it stays flat, we're going to see more of these deals happen, just trying to create yourself some flexibility for the future.
And what do you know about Tampa Bay's situation now that Tyler Johnson's been asked for a list of teams where he'd like to go? How much are they going to be blowing up that team?
Well, they're going to be blowing it up. I mean, there's we're going to keep saying it. Cap flexibility and cap crunch. When you win a Stanley Cup, and we saw it with Chicago, it took a little longer time to take effect because the cap went up in those years. Los Angeles, it happened to them. Any team that wins the Cup, usually you're going to see them have some cap restraints. But Tampa Bay, in a year that they win, in players that have long-term contracts, and the cap does not go up, it stays flatline, you're going to have these problems. So Tyler Johnson, I think he has 4 more years with $5 million left AAV on that average. He was the first to go. Look for Alex Killorn, probably another guy, a high-price ticket to be gone. You have to create some space also for the Sergachevs of the world that are going to want to get paid now, and the Anthony Cirellis, and those are the future of your team. You just won a Stanley Cup, but now you have to look to the future, and you're going to have to build from within and sign these guys that deserve their money.
All right. Awesome update, Barney. Enjoy the draft the next couple of nights, and looks like you're looking great, my friend. Looks like summer's been good. Good luck finding your kid a place to play this year.
Awesome, AP. Listeners, keep up the great job, and to all those teams out there and fan bases, it's a great night. Enjoy. All
right. Thanks, Barney. Matthew Barnaby checking in from Ottawa.
You're watching Rod Pedersen On Demand. For more of The Rod Pedersen Show, visit rodpedersen.com or follow Rod Pedersen on social media.